What's the right way to be spiritual with your body? That was the core problem in Corinth. They were surrounded by two crazy extremes: temple prostitution on one side, and people claiming that total abstinence was the only way to be holy on the other. Paul steps in with some of the most radical and practical advice in the whole Bible. We start with singleness. Paul says being unmarried is good. He calls it a spiritual gift because it allows for undivided devotion to God. It's not a punishment. It's a superpower for ministry. But what if I don't feel like I have that undivided devotion superpower? What if I'm struggling with temptation? You might be asking. Paul has a straightforward, non-judgmental answer. If you cannot control yourself, you should marry, for it is better to marry than to burn. He's validating your reality and telling you that marriage is the moral choice, the holy escape from temptation. Then Paul moves to the absolute non-negotiable for Christian couples. Divorce among two Christians is forbidden. He says if you separate for any reason, you are commanded to either remain unmarried or reconcile. That's the end of that discussion for two believers. Now for the complex situation that causes a lot of confusion. What if my awesome person doesn't believe in Jesus? And what if they leave? Well, here is where God's grace steps in with a huge exception. If the unbelieving partner insists on departing, Paul says you are no longer bound. This is the Pauline privilege. You are free from the marital bond, and that bond is broken for the sake of peace. The reason God grants this freedom is clear. God has called you to peace. He frees you from the turmoil so that you can move forward in peace, acknowledging that you cannot control the unbeliever's final choice. So here is the final challenge. Choose your standard of holiness. Live in mutual honor, knowing that God has provided a defense line against temptation and a way out of even the most broken covenants for the sake of your peace.